Hey guys, Seb here. Just I need some painting to do. I got some painting to do. Got a miniature to do. I've got yeah, just a little late night painting session here. Thought you might want to join me. So I've got some of the paints all out here, and I've got this creepy little ghost lady coming closer. Creepy little ghost lady here that I'm fixing up for a one-shot that's going to be on the channel in late October on the 30th. I believe 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, definitely on the 30th. So this is the ghost I'm trying to finish up. So this will just be just putting some more paint on this, just try and finish it up. So let's get the music going. Let's see if we can get this guy finished. Lady. Yeah. So all right. Let's get into this a bit. Same frame there. Okay. So I think I'm gonna just thin some paint and get it on some of these arm elements and stuff. It's not gonna be all washed out. So I've just before the stream, one of these arms did pop. One of these lanterns did pop up. So it's very good to have some good super glue around, just so we can get going back to it. So now I've got a wide variety of skin shades here. I'm going to need something a little ghostly. I even have one of these model air paints. They might be pretty thin. I want something pretty thin just so it doesn't come across too opaque. I do also have this ancient mummy. I guess ancient mummy's pretty good. Maybe I'm just trying to think. Like, should I be working darker to lighter? I think so. I'm gonna start with this. Well, we want this green one to be the darkest one, I think. There. So I'm gonna start with ancient mummy. I can't stay in frame here. Okay, here we go. Still have to work out what stat block this is going to use. I have no idea. Wanted to have some cool abilities and stuff. Maybe something with the lanterns. That's the kind of thing, isn't it? There's a lot of them there. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to just thin it down. Some of this ancient mummy that I've got here. Just gonna get going on that. Actually, I'm gonna need some more water here. More water. I just got more water. Oh. Hey Rick, welcome to the stream, pal.